Ladies and gentlemen, my name Thanh Mai. I am one of the most famous tour designer in Vietnam. Also, very lovely and very kind tour guide in Vietnam. So, today, where I would love to take all you go to visit. Today, I will feel happy to make a tour guide for all of you to go to visit Mekong Delta in Vietnam. Especially, today we go to Cần Thơ City. Cần Thơ City is the biggest city in the Mekong Delta. And have you ever heard about Mekong Delta in Vietnam? Mekong Delta in Vietnam has totally 13 provinces and has around 17.1 million people living in the Mekong Delta. And we are now have the boats go along Cần Thơ River. Cần Thơ River is one of the river belong about Mekong River. I am sure maybe of you heard about Mekong River already, right? Mekong River is the number 10 longest river in the world and number 2nd longest river in Asia. Mekong River started from Tibet. After that, traveled through China, Laos, Myanmar, Brunei, Cambodia, and then Vietnam. So, Vietnam is the last country. After that, Mekong River mixed together with the East Sea and go to the Pacific Ocean. If you check from Google, you see that ocean called South China Sea. But in Vietnam, we call that ocean with the name East Sea. So, Mekong is the international river, and Mekong also international name started from Thailand local dialect. Me it means mom or mother. Kong it means great. So Mekong it means great mom or great mother. When Mekong River come to Vietnam, Mekong River separated to become 9 smaller streams, look like 9 dragons. So in Vietnam, we not call Mekong River, we call Cửu Long River. Cửu it means 9, Long it means dragon. So Cửu Long it means 9 dragon river. We are having the boat go along the Mekong River now. So normally the water of the Mekong River or Cửu Long River has brown color. Not because the water dirty, but because the fertile soil and because the mud to make the water has brown color. So we are having the boat on the way go to the floating market. We call Cái Răng floating market in the Mekong Delta, especially in Cần Thơ City, has 2 floating markets. Phong Điền floating market. Phong Điền floating market a little bit further from this floating market. Today we go and visit. We call Cái Răng floating market. So Phong Điền floating market, the local people, especially the tourists, if they want to see, they need to go very early morning, around 4 a.m. early morning. However, today, Thanh Mai take all of you to go to visit Cái Răng floating market. So Cái Răng floating market You can go anytime. The local tourists, they don't really like the sun. Because in Vietnam, lady in Vietnam want to have white skin, so anytime they go out, they need to cover with a heart, with a mark. So you see, they don't want to go late. But with European tourists, they can go around 8 o'clock, and local Vietnamese tourists can go from 6 a.m. Along the river, you can see the petrol station for all the boat. You also can see a lot of wood they put along the river. When they put the wood under the river, they can keep the wood 10 years or very long, no problem. So we almost reached the Cái Răng floating market. Cái Răng floating market is a natural local Vietnamese market. This floating market, the local people selling all the local product. Normally they not sell for tourists. So if 20 years ago you come to visit this Cái Răng floating market, you will see the market bigger, more beautiful, more boat than now. Do you know why? Because 20 years ago, at that time, my country still very poor. We didn't have a lot of beautiful bridge like this bridge. This is the new bridge built around 2 years. We didn't have a lot of truck, container, or the cars. So most of the local people, they need to carry all the local product by boat. And boat made of wood, so easy for the local people to make. And the boat before were considered like the main transportation for the local people moving anywhere and carry all the local product. And the boat also considered like the little house for the local people. Even now, today, we go to this floating market, we see all the boat in here still considered like the house for the owners, because the owner of the boat will take the boat, go to the garden area. They pick up all the local product, then they carry here to sell for the other customer. So Cái Răng floating market consider like wholesale. It means they not gonna sell 1 kilo, 2 kilo. They will sell 10 kilogram, 20 kilogram, 50 or more. So a lot of customers come here, especially early morning. You will see a little small boat. They come here, you see, they park next to the bigger boat. They will buy all the product, carry back to their shop and sell for the other customer. And along the floating market, you also see some of the local little boat. Every morning, they carry a lot of noodle soup, bread, coffee, sell for all the people living on the boat. So the boat considered like the own house of the owners. So they cook on their own boat. They sleep on their own boat. Even some lady pregnant and gave birth the lady on the boat. How can the customer know what kind of product they sell on the boat? Very easy. You only need to look the bamboo tree they hang on their boat. What kind of the product they have inside their boat and they sell for the customer. They will hang the product on the bamboo tree. So when the customer come to this floating market, they look on the bamboo tree. Which boat sell what product? Then they know, like the main signal for the customer to recognize, to come to buy. And tourists come to this floating market. What they can do, what they can buy? Of course, first they need to see, to learn, to know about the local people here, about the floating market of local people in the Cần Thơ city. And they can take the picture, they can make the video to remember where they go, where they visit. And the tourist also can buy some fruit, buy some drink, buy some coffee. Especially a lot of young tourists, they love to climb on the roof of some of the boat because the owner allow for tourists climb on their boat. Look, they cut and remove the skin of the pineapple. So some of the owner of the boat sell the pineapple for the tourist. One pineapple costs around $1 American. Early morning, around 5 or 6 a.m., the market will be busier because more local people take the boat here to buy and to bring back home. But today, Thanh Mai taking the tour for international tourists. So Thanh Mai not go to this market early. We will visit around 8 a.m. You see here some of the floating house. They have so many cafe shops along the floating market. And the cafe shop of the restaurant also built like the floating house. And this boat selling a lot of onion, pumpkin, pineapple, cabbage, carrots, sweet potato, and tapioca. So, Cái Răng floating market in Cần Thơ city belong about local people. So, not set up for tourists. And Thanh Mai a little bit worried because maybe later in the future, Thanh Mai never know and never sure how many more years in the future. But if Vietnam government not help the farmer, not build the floating market for the tourists, maybe one day this floating market will gone because this floating market only belong about local people. But nowadays, when the life of the local people better, we have a lot of supermarket, we have car, we have the truck, we have the container. So most of the customer, they don't want to go to buy here at the floating market anymore. So Thanh Mai hope Vietnam government will have the plan to maintain and to build this floating market for the tourists And 10 years ago, when Chiang Mai came to the Cần Thơ city, at that time, Cần Thơ city didn't have the bridge. Now, Cần Thơ city has the Cần Thơ bridge, one of very long bridge in the Asia. So, the tourists can travel from Ho Chi Minh City, the biggest city in Vietnam, to Cần Thơ city, the biggest city in the Mekong Delta, very easy. But 10 years ago, crazy, because we have to use the ferry to cross through the rivers. And you know, the river 3 kilometers long, very long. Sometimes we have to wait 4 or 5 hours to catch the ferry. But nowadays, very easy for the tourists. They can travel anywhere in Vietnam. So, the local people living on the boat here, they use the water from the river for taking a shower, washing their clothes. They not use the water from a river for drinking and for cooking, but they use the water for cleaning, for washing and take a shower. So it is really easy to recognize some of the owner of the boat. They wear the white color t-shirt, but after a few times wash on the Mekong River, the white color turned to brown color, because the Mekong River has brown color. Because when Mekong River moving along from China, Tibet, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia to Vietnam, the Mekong River carry a lot of mud, a lot of soil along the river. So Mekong River has brown color. Tourists will move from Cần Thơ, we call Ninh Kiều Bank, to the floating market around 20 minutes. So the tourist also can spend around 30 minutes in the floating market area to see how can the local people they do the transaction along the Mekong or floating market. After floating market, the tourists can go a little bit further to see the fish market, the local real markets. And after that, the tourists also can go to see the very famous place they're making the noodle. In the Mekong, very famous about noodle soup, we call with the name hủ tiếu. So now, Chiang Mai will take our family go to visit noodle workshop, where you can see the local people. They make the noodle, and they make the noodle pizza, crispy noodle, one of very famous food in the Mekong Delta. On the floating markets, you see the local people selling a lot of watermelon, pineapple, banana, guava, have all year round, any season. When you come to Vietnam, you can see we have a lot of tropical fruit. So the price for 1 kilogram of fruit in the Mekong Delta, I tell you, not so cheap but not so expensive. 10 years ago, everything in Vietnam very cheap. But now, when the life standard of local people better, everything become more expensive. And here, you can see the lady. She is making crispy noodle pizza. In this place, you can see they make the pizza from the noodle. The lady, she need to boil the oil, and when the oil really hot, she put the noodle inside, and the noodle will become crispy very quick. She put some onion and coriander on the top. Then she put some dry pork. Depend on the tourist. If the tourist want to try chili ketchup, she can put some chili ketchup on the top. And this kind of crispy noodle, very delicious, and I really love to try to eat this crispy noodle. And after try some of local product, you can go inside where you can see how can they make the noodle. If they want to make the noodle, they need to make the rice paper first. Different with the rice paper to make the spring roll. In Vietnam, the rice paper very important. We use the rice paper to make raw spring roll and deep fried spring roll. But if you want to make the noodle, you have to make this kind of rice paper bigger and thicker than the rice paper. Rice paper, we make 100% of the rice, but noodle, because the noodle need a little bit stronger, then the taste better and more delicious. So we need to mix 50% of rice with 50% of the tapioca, so make the cake become stronger. And the lady, she also cover the water pot, and she boil the water, and she cover the water pot with the material like the silk. She put the liquid on the top. 1 minute she pick up and she put on the bamboo frame, and she need to dry under the sun for 4 or 6 hours. Of course, depend on the weather. When the weather hot, the rice paper become dry very easy. After that, they can use the machine to cut the rice paper and become the noodle. They can sell for all the noodle restaurant shop, and they also sell to the market. And they can make different color. If they want to make green color, they need to mix with the pando leaves liquid. If they want to make the purple color, they need to pick up the root, the special root from the trees. So make the noodle have beautiful color. Of course, they not use the chemical color because they are doing the organic product noodle. So very famous, very strong, and very healthy. So when we eat this kind of noodle, we feel delicious and good for health. So thank you so much for paying attention on my video, and thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I am not English speaking person like the mother tongue, so I only learned English from the school and from my job, international tourism environment. So definitely, maybe my accent a little bit hard for all of you to understand. But if you love tourism and you love me, and you love to know about Vietnam, beautiful country, you love to know where I go to visit, you can put subscribe on my YouTube channel. I will feel very happy to make friends with all of you, and anywhere I go, I love to make the video clip and post on my YouTube channel. and if you love me too. And of course, making the video not easy and very tired, because I need to make video and need spend a lot of time for edits and put the music and make the presentation. So if you also love me, don't forget to see my advertisement, because advertisement is the way to help me to earn a little bit money. So thank you so much for supporting and helping for my channel. If you have opportunity to go and visit Vietnam one day, you can send email for me. I will feel happy. Here I am. I will feel happy to become of you tour guide, and I promise I will take up your travel around Vietnam. So nice to make friends with all of you. Have a great day to all of you. And today the weather a little bit hot because there are two different seasons in the south of Vietnam, hot and hotter. Sorry, I'm only kidding. Hot and rain. So see you again in the other video clip. Bye bye.